Hey, that Scientology might be onto something because Tom Cruise is 61 years old and he's done it again. This movie was amazing, and we are talking spoilers. It's pretty crazy to think about the fact that the original Mission Impossible movie came out in 1996, and 27 years later, we still have Tom Cruise doing his own stunts and moving like he's still in his mid-30s. I was born in 1994, so I grew up with Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible 2 used to be my favorite as a kid, but seeing it as an adult kinda made me rethink things. Somehow, Mission Impossible has become one of the biggest and longest running franchises in Hollywood, and they're still finding a ways to raise the stakes almost 30 years later. Now, when it comes to the story of this franchise, I don't remember a lot of the details from the previous movies. I feel like the only one I haven't seen is the third one. Like, I saw Fallout in the movie theater, and the only thing I remembered is the bathroom fight and the ending fight with Henry Cavill. That goddamn James Gunn. But it's kind of like the Fast and the Furious franchise for me. It's been so many movies, I don't really care about the story and the lore anymore. I'm just here for the action. As usual, we have a huge cast of great actors, too many to name, but of course we got Tom Cruise, Simon Pegg, I love Simon, Shaun of the Dead is one of my favorite movies, Ving Rhames, Rebecca Ferguson, Vanessa Kirby, and newcomers at Haley Atwell. Damn, she fine. For the entire movie, I was trying to figure out where I've seen Palm before, and I felt stupid when I realized she's Mantis. But many more actors, and everyone delivered for the most part. It was pretty great acting across the board. So in this movie, we get Tom Cruise's character Ethan, and he's kind of on the run. Very early in the movie, we learn that the main enemy is going to be my favorite thing: artificial intelligence. We keep making movies like this, yet in real life, people are trying to make AI an actual thing. I just don't get it. But like I was saying earlier, going into this movie, I didn't really care about the story, but the script was really good, and it kept me entertained throughout. I watched these movies for the cast and the great action set pieces, and this movie gives us both. The chemistry with this cast is amazing, and they actually seem like a family. I mean, some of them been working together for 10, 15 plus years. Tom, Simon, and Ving were all great, and you can feel the genuine love between the characters and the actors. This movie also gives me something that I love to see in action movies and TV shows: strong, badass female characters. The character of Ilsa is a savage, and Alana is such a cool character to me. I also love the addition of Grace and Paris. The character of Grace was cool, even though she was annoying for half the movie. For some reason, she kept ditching Ethan, and after the third time, I just didn't get it. She leaves him in the airport, which I understand. She doesn't know this guy. She leaves him in Rome after the amazing car chase, which we'll talk about in a second, but she leaves him to die after he saved her repeatedly. And then she leaves him again after she hears everything in the club, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Unless I'm missing something, did she think that she was better off by herself? But once her brain started working in the second half of the movie, she was cool with me. And for the character of Paris, I loved her so much. Even though she barely said anything, she said everything with her facial expressions and her actions. In an action movie, if you give me a woman and a sword, you already won me over. This was a pretty long movie, and it definitely felt like it, but I'm not saying that in a bad way. It wasn't any point in this movie where I felt like it was dull or like they dragged it out. The beginning part of the movie with the submarine was amazing. The mercenaries in the sandstorm, I saw this movie in IMAX. It felt like they were shooting at me. The scene at the beginning with the government officials were mainly just dialogue, but it grabbed me the whole time. No offense to the actor, and I can't find a better picture, but as soon as I saw this dude in that scene, I was like, it's no way that's a human. The driving scene in Rome was incredible. I kept checking my phone because it was a long scene, but it was so good. The club scene with Alana, Gabriel, and everyone had me in the moment the entire time, and the whole last 30 or so minutes on the train was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. From having to Alana's to tense sale of the key, Tom Cruise really jumping off a cliff, and them actually using a real train and blowing it up. I know they released some, but I need to take the time to actually watch the behind the scenes footage. The end of the movie where the train cars were falling one by one, bruh, even though they would have been dead, they would have died in real life, but I'll allow it. Great action. And I can't believe that Tom Cruise is 61 with the way that he's moving and sprinting. I'm 29 years old and my knees and my back are shot. Now, what didn't I like? And I feel like me even saying didn't like is too strong of words because I love this movie. One thing I hate in all TV shows, all movies, is the pump fake death and then they actually kill the person later. Ilsa appeared to be dead at the beginning of the movie after being haunted by mercenaries. I didn't really think that she was dead, but they did the pump fake, and then they actually killed her later. Not a big deal, but I always hated that. They did the same thing in The Walking Dead with Glenn. He should have died in the middle of season 6, but they did a pump fake and killed him the very first episode of season 7. To me, in the desert, they could have just did that whole thing a different way. Gabriel didn't really do anything for me. He wasn't bad, I just didn't really care, but I get that the entity needed a face for the audience and the characters. Some of the humor just didn't land for me. Like in Rome, we get it, haha, they can't drive. I rolled my eyes so hard when the car flipped over and somehow Ethan and Grace switched seats. Yeah. The only part of the train sequence I hated was when Ethan crashed at the perfect time when Grace was cornered. It was goofy in a bad way. And the last thing, but maybe I missed it, what exactly did the AI want? Because if it wanted to kill everyone, it was multiple times I was thinking, why don't it just unleash all the nukes? But maybe I missed it, it wasn't a big deal, it didn't ruin the movie for me. Don't leave angry comments. As of this recording, it looks like it made about 235 million around the globe. It also has a critics rating of 96% and a fan rating of 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. I feel like it's rare and I can't believe that the critics gave a higher score than the fans, but I'm right there with the both of them. I'm gonna give this movie a 9. Great acting, great characters, great action set pieces, pretty good story, great production. Shout out to the director and the rest of the production crew. This was such a great movie. This movie was so good that I was on the phone with my mom for like 20 minutes telling her that she needs to go see this. I don't think she's watched any of them. This is easily one of the best movies that I've seen this year, and I feel like I'm a harsh grader. Like my friends always joke that I hate everything, but this is the 4th movie that I've given a 9 to this year. John Wick 4, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Spider-Man, and now this. Even though this movie and the next one is considered 2 parts, I feel like they hit on this what Spider-Man missed on. This felt like a completed movie. Like Spider-Man, I feel like it didn't really finish anything, it just kind of ended. This one felt complete, and I love that Tom Cruise actually made that an emphasis. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new here. I could be wrong, but I feel like they said the next movie comes out in 2024. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's what they said, so I'm really looking forward to that. But what were you guys' thoughts on this movie? Do you agree with some of my complaints? Let me know in the comment section below. Love you guys. Tell someone you love them. Till next time. See you in the next life.